Okay, so yesterday, the Liberals basically pulled out a rifle and shot democracy. Now, okay, did they actually pull out a rifle? No. But figuratively, yes. Now, it wasn't quite a kill shot, but when combined with the other blows that they've taken on democracy, I'd argue that it's pretty close. The Liberals tabled and passed, all in one day, what is called Motion 11. Now, the name in and of itself, of course, is meaningless, but its content is incredibly harmful. So the Liberals will try to tell you that it just simply enables the House to sit for longer hours. We can be there till midnight and get a ton of work done. Sounds fair enough, and I think most Canadians will probably buy into that. But that's not the crux of the motion. That's not actually what it does. It's just simply a facade. This motion is actually all about government control. So here's the three big things that it does. I want to explore them with you for one moment. Number one, any cabinet minister at any time can declare debate closed. In other words, he or she can stand up in the House of Commons and just say, you know what? Debate is over. We're done for the day. No prior warning, no debate, no vote. Decree is given, decree is enacted, done deal. Okay, that is a direct attack on democracy. If things aren't going their way, no problem. It's inconvenient. It's making, debate is making the government look stupid. Just shut it down. Here's why this is a problem. It's a problem because it's not just my voice that they're squashing. It's not just my colleague's voice that they're squashing. It's actually your voice. The House of Commons is this place where common people represent other common people. That's democracy. We're there to be your voice. We're there to advocate on behalf of Canadians. And so when the government, through a decree, says, well, nope, we're not doing this anymore. This is awfully inconvenient and making us look bad, so we're going to shut down. That's a problem. So no matter how you vote, no matter where you're at on the political spectrum, if you're a Canadian, you should be outraged by this. The second thing that this motion does that I want to draw your attention to is the NDP Liberal coalition can now effectively shut down Parliament until September without giving any prior notice, so just on the spot. They can move the motion, it's voted on. Of course, the Liberals will have the support of the NDP, so it'll pass. And then, the House of Commons is done sitting until September. I'll read you the motion. I have the quote here. It says this, it says, without notice, So the motion reads that the government has the ability to present, and I quote, without notice, a motion to adjourn the House until Monday, September 19th, 2022. So until September, the Liberals and the NDP basically have the power to make the House go away. All those inconvenient questions can just be silenced. Things get hot, no problem, just shut it down. Inconvenient truths are being revealed, no problem, just shut down the House. Wow. Now, as it stands right now, we're actually supposed to be sitting until June 23rd. There's just 1 week that we have off in the middle of May, or toward the end of May, I should say. But other than that, we're supposed to be working, and we have a ton of work to do, a ton, to get through in the House of Commons for the sake of Canadians. But this motion will allow the government now to just determine that it's had enough and it just wants to shut down. It doesn't want to do any more work. This is a massive shield to protect the government from being held accountable. The third thing that this motion does that I want to draw your attention to is it effectively can shut down committee. Now, this isn't stated explicitly in the motion, but it will naturally occur as a consequence of the other things that are in it, in the motion, that is. So, for example, if the House is going to sit later, if the House is going to sit until midnight, then we're going to need more resources allocated to that sphere, which means interpreters and other staff will be pulled from committee and into the House of Commons, which means then that those committees won't be able to meet. Well, that's convenient when it comes to committees like looking at, let's say, Afghanistan and the blunders of the Canadian government there. Oh, that's getting inconvenient. So let's pull resources from there and into the House of Commons. And of course, no doubt, it will be the Liberals making these determinations as to which committees get to continue to go and which committees need the resources pulled from them in order to continue the debate in the House of, or uphold the debate in the House of Commons. Another example would be, we have the special committee on investigating the invocation of the Emergencies Act. So this is a really important committee. I mean, it's never been done in history, the invocation of the Emergencies Act. Well, on February 14th, the Prime Minister determined to do that in response to the Ottawa protest. Okay, so the Prime Minister did that, and now, based on the legislation, he is supposed to be held accountable. And the way to hold him accountable is by having a special committee. Well, that special committee is trying to get to the bottom of something. If that gets too hot, if the Prime Minister starts to if bad light is shed on him, no problem. Just shut down the committee, pull the resources from there and into the House of Commons. Can't meet anymore. At Heritage Committee, I have a motion on the floor. We have a study that's going to start in the next week having to do with harm caused by online exploitation of children. All of a sudden, the government, if they want, they can determine that that's not an important study, that we shouldn't be looking at that. And so they can pull resources from that committee. Now, we've seen the Prime Minister, we've seen his disregard for Parliament before, again and again and again and again. This is just one more example of how he takes more and more power for the sake of pushing his agenda forward. He's trampling on democracy. By stopping my voice or the voice of other MPs, he is effectively silencing your voice. This isn't just politicians versus politicians having a spat. This is actually the government versus the people, which is a totally wrong interpretation of how government should function. The Prime Minister is attacking you. Because again, the House of Commons is a common place where common people are supposed to represent other common people. That's what I was elected to do. Yesterday, when this came for a vote, my Conservative colleagues and I said no. We voted against it because it's hideous. But of course, it still passed because the Liberals have a deal with the NDP. But we can't be silent on this. We can't be silent on any issues that attack democracy. Canadians must speak out. So I'm asking you, I'm pleading with you, please write to the Prime Minister and tell him to stop assaulting democracy. Because in doing so, he's actually assaulting the Canadian people. Please write to him, justin.trudeau@parle.gc.ca. I hope that you have a really great night, and I look forward to our next opportunity to convene. Take care.